What an amazing movie. I felt as if I was there. I felt as if I was right there in the spaceship with you. And it was the sound, the rattle, everything. Extraordinary. So, so good. What was it about the movie that you said to yourself, I've got to play this man, I've got to play this woman?
It would hard to be, to pick one thing. It's just such a layered story, and both Janet and Neil are such complicated and incredible people, and it was just an honor to be asked to help tell the story, but also a huge responsibility. What about you, Claire?
Well, yeah, it was everything. I loved Janet and I loved the story, but I also just was really inspired by Damien. I just thought the way he wanted to tell a story that everybody knew was really different, I thought, and I was really excited by him.
We sort of thought we knew, but actually it was really interesting to see, because Neil Armstrong was famously very, very quiet, shy, I suppose, in a way. I mean, he kind of disappeared sometimes, because you'd imagine if you're the first man on the moon, you'd be absolutely everywhere, but he just wasn't really like that. So much going on behind the eyes. What was your key to getting inside that character?
I had an incredible amount of help from people that knew him very well. I mean, his sons were very involved, and Janet Armstrong, who Claire plays, was involved. I had the opportunity to meet her, his sister June, childhood friends, co-workers, just an incredible amount of help and people trying to share insight in the hope that we might be able to add some context to this person that people felt that they knew.
Because while he was doing what he had to do, there's Janet at home, raising the children and doing all of that and keeping the family together, and her job was really, really hard. And that was great that the film actually showed that and showed the tragedy that they endured, but not in a mawkish way, in a really real way. You felt for it. It was all there, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing. Janet wouldn't be one to moan or to kind of say, woe is me, like, help me out here. Yeah. And I don't think any women of that time really, I think that was sort of the status quo, that was what you did. You stayed at home and the man went out to work. But it was more what was expected of you when you were at home, what NASA expected of you, how you, like, what image you portrayed. But then also she was also married to Neil Armstrong, who was somebody who, when he came home, she didn't necessarily feel like he was there. And so it was just sort of lots of things that she had to kind of shoulder a lot of the time.
And amazing women very sadly died. So would she have seen the film? Would she have seen the completed film? Or she knew what was happening and knew it was...
Yeah, she was involved, wasn't she, in the script? She read the script, and I think she saw the trailer as well, I think, before she passed away. But yeah, I think the amazing thing for us is that Rick and Mark, their children, have seen it and kind of signed off on it.
Good. Well, if you've got their approval, that's it. You're fine. Your work is done. That's the main thing. It's had an amazing response and fantastic reviews as well. And again, a lot of people saying how real it is. You really do feel like you're there. It's remarkable, and the use of sound is the sound quality. That kind of thing. Like, honestly, I was watching it and I felt as if my teeth were rattling in my head. It was amazing. It was extraordinary. So, did you have to do things like astronaut training, that sort of thing, to get? And I'm trying to think of how you get into the mindset of an astronaut. Did you have to do that sort of thing?
There was a bit of that, and that was incredible. We went to NASA, both in Houston and Cape Canaveral, and there was some astronaut camp, space camp as they call it.
Oh, I'd love to go to astronaut camp.
Yes.
Cool. How cool. Did you go in that horrible thing, though, that goes round and round and round? I'm sure that's not the technical term for it, but you know the one I mean.
It might as well be.
Like that.
I'm told I went into it. I have no memory of it.
And they were doing that and then making all these calculations, because obviously it was before computers and everything. Yeah. They had to do maths, like, with a pencil. How did they do it? It's extraordinary.
I think that Damien's instinct to tell that story, to reveal that information, we have this image of that accomplishment as this gilded image, as though it was predestined and a predetermined success, and we just really forget that it could have gone wrong at any moment, and how limited the technology they were working with, how dangerous the missions were, how much personal sacrifice was involved from the astronauts and their families. And once you understand these things, it just makes the accomplishment even more exceptional.
Would you like to do it? Would you like to go up there and see? No.
Well,
No.
I mean, if I'm lucky enough to make it to 70,
Right,
and
so I think
people
you'll
have
be
been
fine.
doing it, and people have been doing it for 30 years, then without question, I'll be
Right,
like, come on,
okay.
let's off we go.
Right.
But the first flight out, absolutely not.
Okay, just let everybody else do it first and see how.
Yeah.
But imagine seeing though, seeing the Earth from the moon. Can you imagine what that would be like?
Well, that's what the astronauts, many of the astronauts, that's what they say when they talk about this mission, that they went to explore the moon, but they really discovered the Earth. It was the first time that the world had ever looked at itself.
And looks tiny.
Tiny.
So tiny.
Really
That's the thing.
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So we're really lucky. It looks great.
I know it's. No, it is really good.
Wow.
You're absolutely right. Did you want to be an astronaut when you were little? Because I did.
You did?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Well, you're cooler than me.
Did you know?
I knew that already, but you just confirmed
What
it.
did you want to be then if it wasn't an astronaut?
I don't know, nothing that, I mean, I don't even, I think I just, I probably wanted to be in the NBA or something, silly. But not silly to be in the NBA, but that was obviously not going to happen. So,
So you have to go into acting. You have to go into acting instead.
yes, yeah.
Obviously, in this movie, you're playing a real, true life character. Both of you are, and you have done that before, of course, with Her Majesty. That was such a brilliant series. Is it going to be hard to sort of pass the baton on? Because you've got to do that now. Has it been long enough that it's okay?
Yeah, we finished shooting it about a year and a half ago.
Really? Was it as long as that?
I keep saying that, and I don't know whether that's true, but I feel like I'm pretty sure it was. And it, it's already they're shooting the third series. It's happening. It's going. It's off and running. So it's not mine. It will be. I will just be very sentimental all the time, and I will always cherish that job, and so I will always kind of get a bit teary-eyed whenever I think about it. So. But that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely remarkable, wasn't it? It really was. It was every little episode was like a mini film.
Yeah, they were.
The standards were so high.
Yeah, they were.
Really
They had
were.
incredible DOP.
And that just was so brilliant. Both of you, have you got any time when you're here to do things? Like, I mean, I know you live here, but I mean, can you take him out shopping or museums or art galleries or?
Thank you for asking.
Can you do any
Thank
of
you
that?
for facilitating that.
We can go on an
Just
open
been
top
sitting in my
bus.
room looking out the window.
I know. It's a funny old life because you visit all these amazing cities and then sometimes you don't have enough time to actually explore and enjoy.
Yeah, we've just we were in San Sebastian, which again looked beautiful from out the window, and then there was Paris, and the same deal there. And yeah, but no, it's great to be able to come and bring this film specifically. I mean, some films you have to promote, and then there are some films that you get to, and
But it must be so good when it's something that you have loved and enjoyed, and I know I can see you've got a little NASA pin there, which is great.
Yeah, no, it's an experience that I'm excited for people to have. The movie opens and you're under the wing of a B-52 bomber and an X-15, and you get shot into the atmosphere, and it just keeps going from there.
Yeah. It does. It's a real, but it's not like a sort of gung-ho type kind of, I suppose it's a stereotypical heroes and all of that. It's much realer. These people are real. Obviously they were, but it's not like that. And it's like what I was saying about the grief that they go through. It's never done in a sort of overly sentimental fashion. It's very, very, very real. And I think that's what makes it so special.
Yeah, well, that's Damien, isn't it, really? Because I don't think he didn't want, there was no story there if he was going to tell a story that everyone already knew. So I think it had to be that he was telling it from a different perspective, and I think from their perspective and from Neil's perspective is
I think that's the Armstrongs as well. They didn't appear to me to be very sentimental people. And I think Damien, I mean, there are many reasons I enjoy working with him, but one is that the style of his films always comes from the substance of the film, and the substance of this film is the Armstrong family, and so I think I hope that it reflects that, and it seems from the Armstrong sons that they feel that it does.
They're heroes and heroic and brave, unbelievably brave, but they would probably just say, "No, I'm only doing my job."
Exactly.
Both of them, they would
Yeah.
just say, "That's what we do," and you just get on with it.
Yeah.
It's very admirable.
Yeah, it is. I'd be shouting from the rooftops. Going, I've been to the moon.
No. I mean, that's proper bragging rights, isn't it?